Howdy partners! Welcome to Quantum Projects' advanced beekeeping script. This brand new beekeeper script is designed to immerse your players in the world of bees. We want to design something unique and immersive. In this beekeeping script, you're able to set different apiaries for different bee types and their outputs, creating a whole new level to the honey-making business. Here first, you're going to see me placing a honeybee apiary, which whole purpose is to be your honey factory. Every apiary is set in the configuration to have its own hash, so you can change it if you wish in the configuration file of the script. All apiaries are configured to require a few things before you can get started. For example, in this case, this honey apiary requires a honeybee queen, which can be acquired from wild beehives that this script also spawns around the map for the player to find and acquire bee queens. So let's head down to this wild beehive that is set in configuration to give us a honeybee queen and acquire it. So upon reaching here, you will see that you can't just walk up and get the queen. It's not that simple. The player must first acquire a bee jar to house a queen, and as well get their hands on a bee smoker item. The script also has checks in place to make sure that the players have these items before continuing ensuring security for your server. To be able to smoke the beehive, the player must have the bee smoker item. Once they do, the player will do an animation and get notified after successfully smoking the hive. Once the player smokes the beehive, then they can retrieve the queen of this wild beehive. So here now, after doing the animation that we have smoked the hive, it should let us retrieve the queen and do a little animation for retrieving the honeybee queen. After, it should notify the player of the success. Depending on the configuration, the wild beehives are set to be either honey, hornet, or carpenter. You can change this in configuration file of the script as well. So now that we have a honeybee queen, we can take it back to our apiary and place it inside to start our apiary. Note that the apiary must have a queen in order to interact with the NUI menu. By default, there is 4 apiaries in configuration: honey, carpenter, hornet, and a master apiary, all whose output items are different. So now here you'll see that we're going to place the queen inside the apiary and start it. All the apiaries require 2 basic things, nectar and pollen, just like IRL bees need, but we'll talk about that more later. Let's now place the other apiaries that the script has, starting with the carpenter bee apiary. So like we stated earlier, each apiary has its specific benefit. The carpenter apiary is responsible for delivering bee propolis, which is an extract from beehives. Each apiary requires its own queen. For example, the carpenter apiary, the carpenter queen, the honey apiary, the honey queen, and so on, ensuring realistic behaviors for your players. Every apiary requires the correct bee queen, ensuring the player goes out and looks for the other hives that will house the other queens. Now, as you can see here, I have a carpenter bee queen, and the script will check my inventory and find the correct queen depending on the type of apiary you're interacting with and add the queen accordingly. Now, let's place our final major apiary type, the hornet bee apiary, which whole purpose is to give you bee venom, since hornets are known to not produce any honey. So use it for medical recipes or whatever you please. Now, like we stated earlier, the apiaries require 2 major things, pollen and nectar. This script also houses ways to interact with props around the world and make them interactable to harvest pollen and nectar. Now, like you see here, we are gathering some pollen from a plant we set in configuration file of the script. These items are then fed into the apiaries to start the generation of honey. Once both nectar and pollen hit 25%, then the generation starts. The script configuration has settings for amount added for each delivery, the time between growth ticks, punishment for poor management of apiaries, even hard difficulty with extra negative consequences, and more. We made sure it is very configurable for server owners to manage accordingly. The script has settings for the amount to be given by min and max depending on quality of care of the apiary. So ensure you take care of your apiary, or your product might be low. The configuration file is very detailed. So once you get the script, make sure to read the comments. Once the apiary has been harvested, a timer will start ensuring the player continues to manage the apiary, ensuring a realistic approach to beekeeping. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more Quantum Project releases.